Most people live under a dangerous illusion that a street fight will never happen to them. They walk around with headphones in, their heads buried in their phones, thinking violence is something that belongs only in movies or news headlines. But let me ask you a hard question. What if tonight, someone bigger, stronger, and meaner than you corners you on the street? What if two strangers decide that you look like their perfect target? What if tomorrow you're suddenly forced to defend not just yourself, but a friend, a brother, or even your own mother? Would you be ready? Or would you freeze, panic, and pray that mercy will come from someone who has no intention of showing you any? Here's the truth most people don't want to accept. In a street fight, there are no rules, no referees, no fair chances. It's raw survival. And survival doesn't belong to the strongest or the fastest. It belongs to the one who is prepared, the one who has already decided deep down that they will never be a victim, the one who knows exactly what to do when chaos explodes. But here's the dark reality. Most people don't prepare. They convince themselves with lies. Lies like, I'll talk my way out of it, or I'll run away, or the most pathetic one, nothing will ever happen to me. And those are the exact people who end up curled on the ground, humiliated, injured, or worse. You're not one of them. If you were, you wouldn't even be watching this right now. You're here because somewhere inside you, there's a voice that knows the truth. You must learn how to defend yourself, or you will always walk this world at the mercy of others. Think about this. When danger strikes, nobody is coming to save you. The police won't be there in seconds. Your friends might run. Even family can't protect you. In that moment, it's only you, your body, your mind, and your willpower. And if you haven't prepared, you've already lost. That's the brutal law of the street. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to wake you up, to snap you out of the hypnotic daydream society once you trapped in. The lie that everything is safe, everything is predictable, everything is controlled. The truth is, the world is unpredictable. Violence is always just one decision, one drunk stranger, one wrong look away. And the difference between walking away unharmed or ending up in a hospital bed, or worse, comes down to the knowledge and mindset you carry with you. So if you're still here, if you've listened this far, understand something. By the time we're finished, you will never look at street fights the same way again. You will understand not only what to do, but also how to think in those moments. Because fighting is not just about the body. It's about rewiring the mind. And if you take this seriously, you'll gain something most men secretly crave but never admit out loud: true confidence. The kind of confidence that makes people hesitate before messing with you. The kind that makes you carry yourself differently, because you know you're ready. This isn't just another video. This is the line between being prey and being predator, between being helpless and being dangerous. So, lock in, because what you're about to learn might one day be the very thing that saves your life. 1. The predator versus prey mindset. The very first thing you need to understand about street fights is this: they are not random. They look random, but they're not. Predators choose their targets. And do you know who they choose? People who look like prey, people who walk with their shoulders down, avoiding eye contact, moving timidly, unaware of their surroundings. If you look like food, you will attract wolves. That's why the most important weapon in your arsenal is not your fists, not your legs, not even a knife or a stick. It's your mindset. You must stop thinking like prey. Stop assuming the world will treat you kindly. Predators sense weakness the way sharks smell blood in the water. If you project fear, you've already lost. That's why, before you even learn a single move, you need to rewire your mind to think like a predator. Walk like you own the ground you're stepping on. Hold your head high. Scan your environment. Let your eyes meet people's eyes. Not in an arrogant way, but in a calm, dangerous, unshakable way. Because here's the truth. Most street fights are won before the first punch is thrown. They are won by the one who makes the other side hesitate. And hesitation is the weapon of a predator. So tell me, are you willing to shed the skin of prey and step into the mindset of predator? Because if you don't, every move I'll teach you later will mean nothing. 2. The art of pre-fight control. Now let's get into the second point. The fight doesn't start when fists fly. It starts long before that. Real fighters know this. The pre-fight is the most dangerous phase. Most people make a fatal mistake here. They either get aggressive too soon and escalate the situation, or they get passive and let themselves be cornered. Both are wrong. The real secret lies in what I call pre-fight control. Here's what that means. When someone confronts you, you must control the frame. Don't step back like you're afraid. Don't puff your chest like a cartoon tough guy either. Instead, keep a balanced stance. Keep your hands up, but natural, like you're just talking. And maintain calm but direct eye contact. Speak if you have to, but speak slowly, with weight. Why? Because humans are animals, and in the animal kingdom, calm dominance wins. What this does is it forces the attacker into uncertainty. They expected fear, or they expected blind aggression. When they get neither, their brain glitches. And that moment of hesitation, that single second of confusion, is when you hold the power. This is when you decide whether to de-escalate, escape, or strike first. Understand this. In a street fight, the one who controls the pre-fight energy usually controls the outcome. And if you think that's just theory, you're already making the mistake most victims make, ignoring the psychology of violence. 3. Striking first. Striking ruthlessly. Now let's talk about something most people are too scared to admit. Sometimes, the only way to survive is to strike first. Society has brainwashed you to believe that striking first makes you the bad guy. But ask yourself, if someone corners you, threatens you, maybe even has a weapon, do you really have time to wait for them to throw the first punch? That hesitation could cost you your life. Street fighting is not boxing. There are no rules. The smartest move is often the ugliest. And here's the dark truth. You must be prepared to strike with ruthlessness. Not for sport, not for pride, but for survival. The eyes, the throat, the groin, these are not dirty targets. These are survival targets. If someone is trying to hurt you, your responsibility is not to look honorable. It's to walk away alive. Now let me be clear. This doesn't mean go around attacking people. This means that if the situation is unavoidable, you don't hesitate. Hesitation is what gets people beaten, stabbed, or worse. When the line is crossed, you must transform into something the attacker wasn't prepared for. A predator who does not play by the rules. Strike hard, strike fast, and commit fully. Half-hearted attacks do nothing but fuel your opponent's rage. But a ruthless, decisive strike changes the fight instantly. Remember this, the longer the fight drags on, the more dangerous it becomes for you. End it fast, end it brutal, and walk away. The power of environment. Here's another thing most people forget. The environment is a weapon. Street fights don't happen in a padded gym. They happen on concrete, against walls, next to cars, in alleys, on slippery ground. If you ignore the environment, you're blind. A true survivor looks at the environment like a chessboard. Is there gravel you can kick into someone's eyes? Is there a wall you can slam someone into? A car door to use as a shield? Even your backpack, your belt, or the bottle in your hand can turn into a weapon. The streets are full of tools if your mind is sharp enough to use them. But here's where most people fail. They get tunnel vision. They lock into trading punches and forget the ground beneath their feet. Don't be that fool. Use the world around you. Shift the terrain in your favor. Control the fight not just with your body, but with everything in your surroundings. That's how predators think. And that's how you make sure you walk away while the other guy doesn't. 5. The psychology of fear. Finally, let's talk about the invisible force that decides most street fights. Fear. Fear is not your enemy. It's your weapon. Let me explain. When adrenaline hits, most people shut down. Their legs go weak. Their arms feel heavy. Their vision narrows. They drown in fear. But predators? Predators harness it. They let fear sharpen their senses, quicken their reactions, and fuel their strikes. You need to rewire your brain so that fear doesn't paralyze you. It energizes you. Here's how. Whenever you feel that rush, don't label it fear. Label it power. Your heart races? That's extra blood pumping into your muscles. Your hands shake? That's energy begging to be released. Your mind speeds up? That's nature giving you hyper-awareness. The same chemicals that make cowards freeze are the ones that make predators unstoppable. The difference is in how you frame it. If you master this, you'll realize something terrifying. Most fights end not because someone was weaker, but because someone gave up mentally. Fear broke them. Fear made them quit. But if you can stand tall in the storm, if you can let fear fuel you instead of consume you, then you become something your attacker didn't expect. Unbreakable. Now let me leave you with one final thought, because this is where I want to hear your voice. Street fights are ugly, unpredictable, and merciless. The moment you step into one, you're either the hunter or the hunted. And the scary truth is, most people have no idea which one they'll be until it's already too late. But you're different. You stayed here till the end, and that already proves you're preparing to step into the mindset of the predator, not the prey. But here's where I want you to chime in. If a fight broke out right in front of you, no warning, no rules, what's the very first move you'd go for? Would you strike first? Would you use the environment? Would you aim for the throat, the eyes, or the legs? Or would you try to control the psychology before fists even flew? Drop your answer below, because I guarantee this. The comments section is going to be filled with people arguing, debating, and sharing their own first strike strategies. And trust me, sometimes you learn more from the comments section than from the video itself. And let's be honest, half of you are going to say, "I'd just run away." And hey, that's fine. But if that's your answer, don't be surprised if a predator spots you first. So go ahead, tell me, what's your first move in a street fight? I'm watching the comments closely, and I'll be responding to the most savage, most clever, and maybe even the funniest answers. Remember, don't just watch, participate, because survival is not a spectator sport.